Good morning, all of you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah. Today I'm going to take only first session. I'm not taking the second session because I have an interview at 10:45, and there are 4 interviews I think today. Okay, so it starts from 10:45. So that's the reason I cannot take the second session. So today is very important one. I'll tell you how to write and execute a first COBOL program.
Sir,
So,
please share screen, sir.
yeah, I'll share it. Thank you. Okay, so let me write. COBOL. So from here onwards, we start with the COBOL classes. Okay. So COBOL is a common business-oriented language. What is a COBOL abbreviation? There may be spell mistakes. Don't worry. Correct it. So what is a COBOL abbreviation? Common business-oriented language. So common business-oriented language. The name itself is saying a business language. In 1950s, it was invented for a military applications. US military applications. Okay. So later on, it was converted into business applications. Okay. So we'll see that later, little later. First, let me write and execute a first COBOL program. How to write and execute the first COBOL program? What are the steps required to execute a first COBOL program? So if you want to write a program, you should have a PDS, correct? If you want to write a program, you should have a source PDS. Correct?
Yes. Yes, sir.
So right. Step 1. Create source library, source and create source and load libraries. Libraries or PDS are both are one and the same. Okay, don't get confused. Libraries, PDS, one and the same. Okay. Step 1. So we have already created a source library and load library. Correct or not? In the previous class, we have already created a source library and load library. So next step 2. Create a member in source library and write a program. Okay. Okay. So step 1, create a source library and load libraries. Create source and load libraries. And step 2, create a member in the source library and write a COBOL program. Okay. Step 3. After writing the COBOL program, we need to compile the COBOL program. We need to compile the COBOL program to make it as an executable. So for that, we should compile the COBOL program. We should compile the COBOL program. So to compile a COBOL program, we need a compile JCL. To run the COBOL program, we need a run JCL. So we need a two JCLs here. One is a compile JCL, the other one is a run JCL. Okay, so I said everything is a JCL, everything is a job in the mainframe. So whatever you want to compile or execute, except the CSS programs, even the CSS programs, it contains a screen coding and also COBOL program, COBOL CSS program, screen design and the COBOL. So that is also compiled in the, but that is executed in the CSS. Tell that or not? CSS programs should be compiled with the JCL only, but will be executed without a JCL. Did I say it or not?
Yes, sir.
No,
Yes,
sir.
Okay. Here, see here, I'm going to the CSS. I'll say CSS. The key button. Then Cal1, one of my program is a Cal1P. Cal1P, and the transaction that is assigned for this Cal1P is a Cal1. Now, am I submitting any JCL here? I'm not submitting any JCL. I'm not submitting any JCL here. So to execute a CSS program, we don't need a JCL. But the entire CSS region is executed under a JCL. For every program, we don't execute any JCL, but entire CSS is running under a JCL. Did I say that or not?
Yes, sir, you have said.
Right. So in mainframe, everything is executed through the JCLs. Jobs, we call it as jobs or JCLs. Batch job. Okay. So now, step 2, create a member in the source library and write a COBOL program. Step 3, compile COBOL program. Using compile JCL to, okay, create a load module. So source code is not executable. Our source code is not executable. Not only here. Wherever you go, like in Java, .NET, wherever you go, the source code is not executable. .java is not executable. .exe is executable. Okay, so .exes are executables. But here we don't have a .exes. We call it as a load module. Source code and load module. Both are okay with the same name. Okay. Now, but where can I get the compile JCL? So that's already there. Copy compile JCL from compile JCL from demo.compile. There is a PDS. Okay. .xcop. There is a JCL xcop. This is a JCL. This is a compile JCL. Or else copy xcop. This is a compile JCL. From demo.compile. This is a member. Copy member xcop. Copy the member xcop, which is a compile JCL from demo.compile to your source library. And customize, okay, with your customize with your library names. Compile it. If it is successful execution, successful compilation, then it will generate a load module. If it is a fail, there is something wrong with our COBOL syntaxes. Okay. Now step 4. Step 4. Create a run JCL. Okay. Create a member in the source PDS and write a run JCL, or else create a member in source PDS library and write run JCL. Number 5. Prepare a test data and submit the run JCL. Okay. So these are the steps we need to follow. So we'll see step by step. Do you want me to explain again, create a source library and load library?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me delete the first the libraries and the files that are already created. We can delete all this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you simply give DDD all this, okay, it will ask you confirmation. So every time I need to enter. Instead of that, I can give a semicolons here. In a single run, all will be deleted. Semicolons means enters. I'm giving multiple enters. Okay, leave it. Now I'm going to 3.2 to create a source library and load library. Batch 6 dot source library. Allocate. This is my source library. Primary 10, secondary 5, dead blocks 100. So record format FD, recording 80. And then load library. So most of the attributes are similar, but except record format, hierarchical, and then this. Are you clear with this? You always need. Are you clear with this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm waiting it. So I created a source library and I created a load library. So step 1 is completed. Step 2. See, only one time. The step 1 is only one time. If you're writing hundreds of programs, no need to go for step 1 again. So step 2. Create a member in the source PDS. Let me go to the 3.4. I don't want this screen now. I don't want this 3.2. I don't want this 3.2. So in the same screen, I can open 3.4. That's why I'm giving equal to 3.4. So batch 6 dot source library. Here I need to create a new program. Edit. How to create a member? Edit. And within the bracket, PGM1. Okay. PGM1. Guys, we have already seen it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Create a new member. When you create a new member, write at least one character, otherwise it won't be saved. but here I'm writing a program. So don't try to understand the syntaxes here. Okay. I'll tell you all this little later. We need to start from 8th column for COBOL, and better always write a caps on. Make, okay, write every program and every data in a capital case characters. Okay, that is a identification division. So like we have a divisions, sections, paragraphs. Okay, the same way the COBOL is created. Divisions, sections, paragraph, sentences, statements, okay, clauses, like this, the hierarchy. Divisions, sections, paragraphs, sentences, statements, and then clauses. Identification division. This is the first division in the COBOL, which has to be started exactly in the 8th column, or 8 to 8, 9, 10, 11. We can start I anywhere between 8, 9, 10, 11. This is called AIA. We see this later. Little later. I'll tell you all the rules little later. So then program -id and a dot are very important. Everything. So the dot is required in the end, and program ID dot, and then program name dot. Enough. This is identification division where we give the program name. Next, you can give a number of space lines, no problem. Then one more division to execute a program is a procedure division, where we write the logic. Procedure division. Okay, so I have a simple logic here. Display, this is my first program. Okay, those who know about C language or other languages, so printf is like a display. Here display, there printf. Scanf is take data in the runtime. Here accept. So printf, scanf, here display and accept. So display hello world. Okay, or else this is my first program, hello world. Okay, and stop it, stop run. To stop the program, stop run. So procedure division, display hello world, display this is my first program, and stop run. My program is ready. So these things I need to write in the 8th column, and these things okay, executable statements we need to write in the 12th column, between 12 and 72. Between 12 and 72. So we can write anywhere. Okay, don't try to understand the program logic, but try to understand the steps required to execute a program. So our step 2 is completed. I'm saving it. So my program is ready. So did we complete the step 2 or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me go to step 3. Compile COBOL program using a compile JSONs to create a load module. Because source program, this I cannot execute. This I cannot execute. This is not executable. We have to convert that into load module. So there may be errors in this code. So my compiler is going to check the errors, and it is going to convert that into load module. There are errors, it didn't create any load module. Okay. Now, the third step. Okay. So compile a COBOL program using a compile JCL to get a load module. So what should I do? Copy the compile JCL. The compile JCL is available as a demo.compile. FPD is called demo.compile. This member, copy the member xcop. This is a compile JCL. Demo.compile. Your source library and customize with your load libraries, with your library names and library and program name. Library and program. Now let's copy it. So 3.4. I'm going for a new screen here. Demo.compile. So there are various. Okay, just go to README. Here, xcop COBOL compiler. Okay, xcop db2. If I have a db2 embedded in my COBOL program, I have to go with the xcop db2. So if I have a db2, I need to go for a bind. Okay, xcop db2 plus bind xplan combinations. Okay, so we can go for a bind package, bind plan that we see later. Okay, then if it is a BMS screen, use this one. If it is a screen coding, then compile that with this JCL. And if it's a COBOL CSS program, my CSS code is embedded in the COBOL program, then use this compile JCL. If my COBOL program is using a CSS as well as a DB2, then use this compile JCL. So we can't use the same compile JCL for a variety of programs. If it's a pure COBOL program which doesn't have a DB2 statements and CSS statements, which doesn't have a DB2 statements and CSS statements, in that case, we can use xcop. If it is having a DB2, use this one. If it is having a CSS, use this one. If you're having a CSS and DB2, use this one. If it is a screen coding, use this one. Like this, different types of programs are having a different compile JCLs. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So if you go and join in any company, okay, you need to ask where the compile JCLs are, or else they may be using a tool called or a changeman with which we can also compile. Okay, we can also compile with a tool called a version control tool. So many companies may not have these compile JCLs. They directly use a tool. That tool is a version control tool. So that we see in the end of the training. Okay, that's very simple. We add a program to the to the Endeavor. Endeavor is going to do the compilation. That we see later. So what should I copy now? Xcop. I'm just copying it. We have already seen this in the last class. How to copy a member from one PDS to other PDS. Go into the DS list and go into the member list and use a C in front of the member and hit enter. It is going to ask you to which library you want to copy. Give the library name here. So it's already given in our Jedway screens. So now, what's our program source library name? batch6.source library. Don't give a member name so that it is going to be copied with the same name. If you give a different member name here, then this member is copied with a different member name. Okay. Now it is copied. Then I close it. I don't want this screen again. It's one-time activity. I opened a new screen in that 3.4 and I went into the demo.compile. Then I copied xcop into my source library. Then I don't need this demo.compile. So I just close the screen. But here it's not visible. Can you see that? I copied it. I copied it from xcop from demo.compile to batch6.source library. Do you see it here? Do you see it here?
No.
No, sir.
So what should I do now?
Refresh.
Very good. Refresh. Whenever you copy, rename, or delete. Okay. So better you refresh so that it will going to refresh the members. Now you can see it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now go into the edit mode, and don't look into the code. It may be confused at this moment. Go to the bottom. Here. So clearly mentioned here, change to your source library. Change this one to your source library. Change to your copy library. If you have a copy books, okay, and it's kept in a separate library, then change it to the copy library. Otherwise, give a source library. If you don't have copy books and if you don't have copy library, give the source library again. Change to your load library. This one. Change to your program name. So what is our source library? Batch6 dot source library. Just copy it. And don't forget to give a comma. And I don't have a copy library, so give this one as a source library, comma. And this one is a load library. So LOAD LIB. This one is a PGM1. Are you clear with this?
Yes, sir.
Compile JCL from a demo.compile, that's an xcop member, into your source library, and then change that to your for your libraries. Now you submit it. To submit a compile JCL, to execute a compile JCL, to execute a run JCL, anything. To execute a JCL, we have to submit it. Okay. Submit. I got max is 0. Max is 0 means max is 0. Max condition code, written code is 0. That means successful compilation. 4 means warnings. Still we can run the program. There may be some warnings. Still we can run the program. And 8 is errors. So we get a 0, 4, 8. Okay. Multiples of 4. Okay. 0, 4, 8, 12, 16. These are the written codes we get in the compilation. 0 success, 4 warning. For 0 and 4, we can run the program. Okay. For 8, 12, 16, it doesn't create a load module. There are some serious errors. There are some errors and serious errors. You have to fix those errors. Again, compile it. So until you get a error free, that's 0 and 4 written code, until you have to do this. So if you get some errors here and go to check the errors and fix the errors, then again compile it. Okay. So until you get either 0 or 4. Yes, do you understand? I'll show it right away. Okay. So now it is successful compilation, and let us see whether the load module is created in the load library or not. Batch6.star. We have 2 libraries here. Batch6.source library, Batch6.load library. Let's go to the load library, and this is a load module created. So for that source code, this is the load module. So we cannot run this source code. We cannot run the source program. We can run only load module. So is the step 3 completed or not?
Yes, sir. Completed.
Okay. Now let's go to the step 4. I'll tell you like how to fix the errors, how to check and fix the errors, that we see later. It's too early. Okay. Step 4. Create a member in the source library and write a run JCL. In our case, step 5, there is no test data here. So I'm taking an input file and I got into the DB2 table. My program is reading a file and writing the data into the table. In that case, I need to take a proper data in my input file. Then after completion of this, I need to check whether the data is inserted into the table or not. Correct? There I had to prepare a test data and submit the run JCL and check the results. Then check the results. This is my step 5. But I don't have any input data and I don't have any logic here. Simply, program is written only to display. This is my first program. This is my first program. Okay.
Hello world, this is my first row.
Hello world, this is my first program. Yeah, two statements. So whatever it is, I'm not passing any data to the program. I'm not expecting any, some sort of logic in the program. Just it is going to display, this is my hello world, this is my first program. No input, no, just we get output. That's a display statements. But we are not processing any data here. That's what I'm trying to say. We are not processing any data. There is no much processing logic here. So processing logic means I'm taking input file, okay, and for example, for each employee there is a hike percentage given. Now based on the hike percentage, I need to update the database, okay, the salary of the employees in the database with the hike percentage. That's my requirement. So I need to take the input file and I need to read the input file. For every employee, I need to update the salary based on the hike percentage given in the input file. So I have input file as a PS file. Then I need to read each record of the PS file. Then with the percentage given, hike percentage given in the input file, I need to update my database, DB2 table. Okay. In that case, I need to prepare a test data. Then I need to execute it. Then I have to see whether the data is updated in the DB2 table or not. Do you understand? Guys?
Yes, sir.
So, but here, such a test data is not available because it's a simple program. It's a very simple program. Display statements. Let's create a run JCL here. So step 4, create a member in the source library and write a run JCL. Let's see here. Edit. Generally, you follow a standard. PGM1 is my program and PGM1J is my JCL. Better you give a J in the end to represent a JCL. In that case, these members will be back to back. If I give JCL1, okay, so it will be in the starting, in the alphabetical order, JCL is the first and the P program is the next. Okay, PGM1 is next. If I have two programs, PGM1, PGM2 will be back to back and JCL1, JCL2 is back to back. So that's not a good practice. If you have n number of programs, let me show you how it is like. For demo.cobol. Here, 1 second. Bonus J, bonus 1, bonus J, bonus 2, bonus 2J, BBL SRP, BBL SRP J, calc J. Can you see that? So CH, these are all programs and these are JCLs, program and JCL. Like this, back to back. So if you want to get that like this, you need to follow a standard. It's not a rule, it's a standard, okay? But in real time, we don't use it like this. But here, so PGM1J, I'm creating a PGM1J for that's a run JCL for the program PGM1. Yes, do you understand?
Yes, sir.
But in real time,
Yes, sir.
it need not be the same name. It won't be same name. In the real time, it won't be same name. And one more important thing. Programs are kept in the source library. JCLs are kept in the JCL library. Procs are kept in the proc library. Copybooks are kept in a copy library. It won't be kept in the same library. But here, we are keeping it in the same library. Except the load module, we are keeping all the other members into the same library. No problem. But in real time, every different type of member is kept in a separate library. Source programs, okay, and then load modules we kept in a separate library. We keep it in a separate library, and copybooks in a separate library, JCLs in a separate library, and screen coding, BMS coding, screen coding in a separate library. Like this, we'll have a separate libraries for this. But here I can keep it in all this except a load module. I can keep everything in the same library. Now I am creating a JCL, okay, for my program. So the rules for a JCL is like 2 forward slashes. Job name, job 1. Job, at least one character between a job name and job, and one more character between a job and. So if it is successful execution or a failure, it has to notify me, because we are seeing that red color message that max is 0. Guys, did you observe that?
Yes, sir.
If you want to get that red color message, you have to give a ampersand sys UID. That means whoever submits this JCL, they will get the notification, that information about whether the successful execution or a failure. If you don't give this one, you can't know, okay, whether it's completed or not. We have to go and check that in the spool. So job name, first 2 bytes, 2 forward slashes, job name, job, notify equal to ampersand sysuid, or else notify equal to IBM user, but that's not a good practice. For example, my user, if I give notify equal to user 1, if I submit it, I'll get that notification. But if user 2 copies your JCL, and if they submit this JCL, and you will get the notification. For example, your user 1, you are a user 1, and there is a user 2. There are n number of users available in the real environment. So now, if you have any JCL with your user 1 as a notify, so if someone copies your JCL and they submit it, if they are expecting a notification, but you will be getting a notification, which is annoying. Okay, so that's the reason we have to give a ampersand, single ampersand, sys UID, system user ID. Whoever submits this JCL, they will get the notification. And the next one, job lib, job library. That means the load library for all the steps in the JCL is the same. DD DSN, dataset name equal to, what is our load library name? Batch6 dot load library, comma, disp equal to share. We'll see all the disp equal to share, all this later. Yeah, remember this one, high AUTO, auto. So if you give that one, you can see COBOL program. See here, if you can see COBOL program in the syntax is in the red color. Syntax is in the red color. At the same time, run JCL. So JCL statements in the red color. Okay, so it shows the syntax is in the in a red color. Now, if you want to give any comment in COBOL program, we can give a space lines, but here we cannot give a space lines. So if you want to give a space line, you have to comment it. The third character, if a star is there, then it is a commented line. If you simply give it like this, that's the end of the JCL. Okay, so comment is like this, like a space line, or we cannot give a space lines here, so we can give only commented lines. If you want to space out a line, but for a readability, for a better readability, so you give up 2 forward slashes and a star in the third column. Next, I'm in the view mode. I'm sorry. Yeah, no problem. I'll tell you like how to edit, how to save it in the view mode. I think I had told you in the last class.
Yes, sir.
Step 1, execute PGM equal to PGM1. Step 1, execute PGM equal to PGM1. To execute that program, we need to go like this. This is a mandatory job card. We call it as a job card. The job statement is nothing but a job card. Okay. And if you are submitting multiple programs in the just, for example, I have 3 steps. Step 1, step 2, step 3. PGM1, PGM2, PGM3. All these load modules are available in the same load library. All these programs are available in the same load library. I can give it in the job lib, or else if I want to give step lib, we can also give a step lib. step lib, but it's only for a particular step, and this is applicable only for this step. Again, I need to write a step lib. Again, I need to go to step lib. Which is easy, giving a job lib or a step lib?
Job lib.
So that's the reason we give a job lib. This is one of the important interview question. So if you give both job lib and step lib, so which one overrides the other? That we see later. For example, I have a load lib 1 here and load lib here. So which one overrides the other? For example, let me show you. This is one of the important interview question. So here there are 3 steps executed in the JCL. There are 3 steps executed in the JCL. PGM1, PGM2, PGM3 are executing from the JCL. And I coded a job lib and I coded a step lib. So step lib is coded only for step 2, but step lib is not coded for step 1 and step 3. Correct? So if the step lib is not coded, for example, in the step 1, step lib is not coded, then the load module is expanded from the job lib. If the step lib is coded, then the load module is expanded from the step lib. So for PGM1 and PGM3, the load module is expanded from the job lib. For PGM2, the load module is expanded from the step lib. Do you understand? So either job lib or step lib are used to supply the load library or a load module. One second. Guys, so we'll see all this later. Okay, it's too early. If you are displaying anything, every program contains sysout. That means for display statements. DD sysout equal to stop. Enough. If you can understand this JCL, the job card, job name, job. So if it is successful or failure, let me know. Job lib. Okay, job lib, DD. You can give any name here. In the job name, you can give any name, but job lib should be given as a job lib only. You cannot give a different name here. Okay, DD, DSN, dataset name equal to the load library, comma, disp equal to share. That we see later. It's too early. Okay, so this is a, instead of giving a space lines here, we give a commented lines. Okay, next, for better readability. See here, I have one more step. Which is more readable now. We give a this comments in between to increase the readability. So job name, job, notify equal to ampersand sysuid. This is one of the important interview question. Notify, what is meant by notify? So if I submit a JCL, it gives a notification in the red color message after completion of the JCL or after successful completion or a failure, whatever it is. Then I can go and check the results. For example, my JCL is executing for 10 minutes. This JCL runs for 10 minutes. Assume it's a 10 minutes. So I need not hit enter and I need not look into that. So I can submit it, I can leave it. So I can do other work. And after 10 minutes, anyhow, it will show the notification. Then I can go and check the results. I need not wait for that. So if I give a notify, we need not check it, whether it's completed or not. So it will notify when it's completed or failure. When it's completed or failed, it will be notifying you. Okay. So job 1, job, notify, job lib, DD. DD means data sets. Okay. DSN equal to the load library, comma, disp equal to share. So disp equal to share means when I'm using this load library, others can also use, or else I can submit JCLs parallelly. I may submit 10 JSLs at the same time. All the 10 JSLs are using the same load library. Give us a share. So use a concurrent access. Others can also use, or I may use in a multiple JCLs. All these JSLs can run at the same time. That's called share. If I give old, okay, then when I'm executing this JCL, if for example I have 10 JCLs, okay, in the first JCL I give an old. After completion of the first JSL only, the other JSLs will be executed. Exclusive control. When I'm using this library, others cannot use this library. Even I cannot use that in the other JCLs. Do you understand? Yes. Please confirm.
Yes,
Can
sir.
you repeat again, sir?
So for example, I'm submitting two JCLs, PGM1J and PGM2J, two different JCLs. So I'm submitting at the same time. Okay, two JSLs can be executed parallelly, simultaneously. So in that case, I need to give share. But if I want to execute, if I execute with an old, and if I submit my JSLs simultaneously, okay, these JSLs are not executed simultaneously. These JSLs are executed one after the other, because when first JSL is using a disk called old, the second JSL cannot be executed. Exclusive control. When I'm using this load library in this JCL, after completion of this JSL only, the other JSL will be executed. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Okay.
So now, job name, job, notify, job lib, dd, dsn. Okay, your load library, comma disk equal to share. Then step name, execute, pgm equal to program name. And you know, program name and its load module name is one and the same. But program is available in the source library, and this load module is available in the load library. That's the only difference. And sysout, dd sysout equals star. That means sysout means display statements. Where should I display these statements? I can display that in the file, or normally we display in the spool. To display anything in the spool, this is a sysout equals star. What is this? This is a output statements. So display statements should be displayed in the spool. Sysout equals star means spool. This sysout means, okay, display statements. So display the display statements in the spool. That's the meaning. Do you understand? Yeah, we see this little later. It's too early. Try to understand each and every point is too early. But try to understand these steps. Okay, it takes 20 classes to complete the COBOL. So we'll see all this again and again and again. Now I'm submitting my JCL. Submit a JCL like this, we submit. Okay, first of all, let's save it. I'm in the view mode. How to save it? Can someone tell me?
Replace ZDEF.
Same member name, PGM1J. Replace .zdf PGM1J. So from first to last, you replace into the same member. So let's see. Let's save it or not. Now submit it. Better we give a this and all. Okay, line for a beautification. Okay. Now submit it. So max will see 0. My run JSL is successfully executed with the max is 0. So where do I see the display statements? I said print it in the spool. So I had to go with the spool. I had to go to the spool. What is the option for a spool?
M5.
Very good. Dot M5. and you can directly give a ST, status of the jobs. Let me go to the M5. This is a file, ST, status of the jobs. So this is my compile JSL which I submitted, and this is my run JSL which I submitted. Now give a question mark here in the run JSL and sysout hello world. This is my first program. Can you see it? So this is how we execute it. So let me write another program. Guys, do you understand how to check the results? Equal to M5 ST. And go to the last JCL that you submitted, job 1. Give a question mark in front of it. And then give S here, show. Hello world, this is my first program. Now let us write a second program here, and I stop it after that. So I want to write a second program. So instead of writing the program from the scratch again, what I can do, I can copy this. I can copy into the same library. Just to understand. Normally we copy a member to another PDS, but we can also copy the member into the same PDS, but with a different name. So I don't want to write my identification division, program ID, and all these syntaxes. I just want to use the existing member, and I want to copy that as a new member. Normally, we copy paste it, right? If I want to create a new notepad, so which I want to write some different syntaxes, so I copy the existing one and then I customize it. Similarly, here I'm copying the program into another program. So here I give my 2 data set from this library to this library. So from and to are same libraries, but with not with the same name. PGM2. Copy this member into this library with a program 2. You understand? Now we can't see it here. So refresh. Now, so it's a program 2. I don't want this one. Now I want to create some variables, okay, which I want to use some calculation. Data division. So if I want to use any variables, I have to use a data division. In that working storage too early section, that 01A picture 9 of 3 value, okay, 100. 01B 9 of 3 value 200. 01C 9 of 4 value 0. Now I'm using a computation. Okay, first of all, display A value as a A. Display B. Display. Then compute C equal to A plus B. We see that later. No need to understand all this, but try to understand how I am writing a new program and how I am compiling it. So in this process, I am not using a create source library and load library. I'm creating a new member, writing a new program, then I compile it, then I create a run JCL, then I run it. So no need to create a libraries here. So display A, display B, and then after computation, display C. See that? Copy this one and give it after this. Then change it. Instead of writing it, I do it like this. So display A, display B. I want to see as A as this value, B as this value. That's why I kept my variable name in the quotes. A colon A, B colon B, C, A plus B, and C equal to, I want to display C. Let me, or else I use a D here, which is not declared. Do we have a D variable here? Do you have? No.
No, sir.
So let me compile this program. I'll get errors. Okay. So let me compile it. Now I'm going to compile JCL. This time I'm going to the bottom. So here this library is same, source library and load library are same, but program name is different. Correct? I changed this one. No need to copy the compile JCL. My compile JCL is already there. I just changed my program name and I submit it for my compilation. And see here, I got maxis 12. There are some errors. There are some errors in my program. Okay. So now let's see the errors. Where should I see the errors? Again into the spool. Go to spool. Go to spool. Go to the last JCL. Please go to mute. Go to the last JCL. Give a question mark. And go to sysprint. And go to the bottom. Same load library. And my program name is a program2. And I'm not passing any data here from the JCL to the program. The values are already declared in the program, and the computation is done in the program, and display is done in the program. So now I submit my program. So let's go to the spool. Go to the last JSON. Out. So A is 100, B is 200, C is 300. Because A is 9 of 3, B is 9 of 3, C is 9 of 4. For example, 900 and 300, which is 1200. So if I give C also 9 of 3, the data may be truncated. Correct?
Yes.
That's why I gave 9 of 4. So that's all for today. That's all for today because I'm running short of time. Hope you understand these steps. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. Guys,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
thank you. That's all for today. Thank you.
Sir, please share yesterday's advice, sir. Wait.
I'll send it after the interview. Thank you. Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
let me do it now. So what did I use in the last class? Did I okay, in the yesterday's class?
Yes, sir. In last plan.
Okay, no problem. I'll share it now. I'll share it. To whom I am saying? Right?
Yes, sir.
Is the same way?
Yes, sir.
Yep. COBOL notes, right? COBOL questions. Not question. Fine. Written calls. Yeah.
Sir,
Send
that
it.
voice equation is shared, sir. After that, one more class is there.
That's what I shared the same one. It is updated in the same one. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.